In this video, I'm going to talk about the link, Carl Jung's link between Wotan and Hitler. Now, I just want to start off with this poem, which goes, "I often go on bitter nights to Woden's oak in the quiet glade with dark powers to weave a union, the moonlight showing me the runic spell, and all who are full of impudence during the day are made small by the magic formula. They draw shining steel, but instead of going into combat, they solidify into stalagmites. Thus, the wrong ones separate from the genuine ones. I reach into a nest of words, then give to the good and fair with my formula blessings and prosperity." Now, that poem I just read was by Hitler, and this poem that he wrote was in 1915, when he was in the trenches, while serving, for the German army. As we know, he did fight in World War One on the Western Front, and it was this is a very Germanic. He's talking about the Germanic deity Wotan, as we can hear, and it's very mystic and esoteric. And this sort of shows, he was Christian to the public eye, but it shows that he knew about the presence of Wotan, and he knew it's sort of very esoteric poem. It's very mystic. Like he's searching for knowledge, and, he feels Wotan's presence. Now, Jung spoke of Wotan and even Hitler, because he met Hitler, and he said Hitler's eyes were of that of an angry god. Now, what is Wotan? Wotan is the god of frenzy, the god of war, the god of poetry, the god of wisdom. He is a knowledge seeker, a wanderer of knowledge, and he is a wanderer. And in his poem, he's talking about how he's wandering out to knowledge and runic stuff. And Odin hung off a tree for 9 days to find out about runes. And that there is a common link. Wotan, or Odin, or Wotanaz, or Woden, however you want to call it, he is an angry god, a god of frenzy. And as you know, Hitler's rising, and then in the war, and then a very passionate character, who isn't afraid of war, as we know. This resembles the archetype of Wotan, and this was Jung's connection, and this was his link, and this is what he saw, and this is what he saw in Hitler's eyes, which only he knows and understands truly. Now, the interesting thing is, which is actually a very good link. This is excluding Carl Jung. This is more of a natural, in a natural sense. In 1889, Hitler was born. This is when Hitler was born, and there was a painting by Franz Stuck, and this painting, I'm pretty sure it was called something to do with Odin. I can't remember what it was called, but it's a depiction of the Germanic god Wotan, and it's a pretty dark painting. And if you notice, on this painting that you see on the screen, it looks a lot like Hitler. And why is that? At 13, I think Hitler found out about this painting, or he saw it, and this was Hitler's favorite artist, painter, Franz Stuck. And as you know, Hitler was a painter himself. He'd done his own paintings. He wanted to go to art school in Vienna. And this painting highly resembles Hitler. Why does it resemble Hitler? Because this was one of Hitler's favourite painters and artists, along with Wagner. And this painting by Stuck, Hitler got inspiration from this painting of Wotan. I'm not sure the painting was called The Coming of Wotan, but it's painted in the same year as Hitler was born, and Hitler got inspiration from the painting, and he based his style, his hair, the moustache and this, off this painting of Germanic deity Wotan. And Hitler made himself look very strikingly similar to it. And this is where, things start to get a little bit like, you can see the link and the connection, and possibly the bigger question, besides everything else, did Wotan reincarnate or possess Hitler? Is Hitler Wotan? Jung said Hitler seemed like the double of a real person, as if Hitler, the man, might be hiding inside, and deliberately so concealed in order not to disturb the mechanism. You know you could never talk to this man, because there is nobody there. It is not an individual, it is an entire nation. Now that's a very interesting statement. The main thing is there's nobody there, it's an entire nation. So what is he saying? He resembles, like, what he's saying, what I believe Jung is trying to say here, Carl Jung, is that Hitler resembles an entire nation. He carries the spirit of the Germanic nation. Remember, the Germanic peoples were once, some people call them barbarians, but they were once, people that were like Wotan, loved war and battle, and, Germanic peoples, even Tacitus, I believe it's in Tacitus Germania, I recommend reading that. If they lost, they would hang themselves, or, they strived in battle, and they never wanted to lose. And Hitler, in his upcoming, his fury and his fire, represented the Germanic peoples, because you look at Germany in World War One, it was a communist state, and it was absolutely appalling. And, Hitler rose, and then, it didn't want the most popular eras ever, and the most popular figures ever. And it became like an angry Germany. It became a Germany that, that we saw. And Jung, and I'm just basing all of this of what Jung said, not my own opinion, but Jung is saying Hitler's a nation. So he's the archetype of the Germanic peoples. And who is the Germanic deity? Wotan. Wotan is the Germanic people's god. Even Jung said himself it's a contradiction for a German to be a Christian, because their real god is Wotan, or their supreme deity is Wotan, amongst other gods like Freya, Thor. But Wotan and Hitler sort of resemble. He is the resemblance of Germanic peoples. So clearly he's blessed by the gods, if you're looking in the pagan sense. Maybe not blessed, but possessed. I mean, even Hitler believed himself that he was possessed to an extent. And this Jung statement really is just saying that Hitler, there is a man behind it, but what's really there, what you're seeing through the eyes and the window, the soul, the eyes are the window to the soul, and what you're seeing through his presence and his feeling, because he was in his presence before, is a nation. And that's strong words. It's a resemblance of, Hitler's archetype, his personality, right? Maybe that's through reincarnation. So yeah, there's some very interesting and supernatural signs, really, and spiritual. It's a very interesting topic. Is Hitler Wotan? Is the main question. So yeah, let me know all your thoughts. And that wraps it up.